Hello. So, in more of an effort to build in public and to be a bit more transparent, Dan and I thought that we would try and record little videos about how things are going, feedback that we're getting, how we're adapting what it is that we're doing based on that feedback. And this is the first edition. So, we're going to get into how things are going straight away, and the feedback that we've got so far. So, we're just about to enter into the we're coming to the end of the second month, so the second edition of our premium newsletter, the Business Breakdown newsletter, where we are taking brands who are doing interesting things with their marketing, taking unique routes or unconventional approaches to growing their brand and breaking it down to figure out how that can be replicated for other companies and other brands in the same industry or in different industries. Doesn't really matter. We're breaking it down in two different ways. So we're looking at why people are doing a certain thing so that you can understand why this actually works and the psychology behind it, and also what they're doing so that we can build templates out that you can then use to replicate it. And it's really sort of the why and the what. The what alone, which is what a lot of people focus on, we find it to be quite shallow. It's very difficult to then apply that to your brand if you don't understand why somebody is doing something. If you can understand the why, then you can more easily apply it to different industries, different approaches, different models. And we did this huge breakdown on Noom because Noom, the weight loss app, who are now doing 9 figures, and they, I think, end of 2019, reported revenue was, I think, 247 million US. And in a podcast episode, they wouldn't give the numbers for 2020, and they're keeping those numbers closed, but one of the founders mentioned that they've around about doubled that. So you can imagine they're probably around $500 million in revenue now. And we wanted to do Noom because their onboarding sequence, their sales sequence, it's like a sales questionnaire, is insane. All of the common advice for conversion rate optimization is to be, short, sharp, quick, easy. And they've got this sequence which is 67 steps long. It's insane. And yet they're killing it. So we wanted to break that down. We pushed that out there for free, and we got some initial feedback from a lot of different people. Now, in one camp, we have very, very positive feedback. We have people like Sean Ellis from Growth Hackers, the man who coined the term. Chris Van Wilpert, a very, very accomplished and very well-respected content marketer, and a couple of other people say this is great, and they promoted it on our behalf to their audiences, which was wonderful. We had a couple of people who we respect in the digital business space actually vote with their wallets. They actually signed up to the Business Breakdown newsletter to get these every month. So that was also validation. But at the same time, we had a smaller number of people criticize what we were doing and offer some feedback and constructive criticism. And the two main pieces of criticism that they mentioned were, one, I don't care about what Noom's done to get to 9 figures. What can this brand, who is now this huge thing, their approach to it is going to be very different to mine. Very, very valid criticism. And the other thing was, it was just what we were doing was too long. It needed to be shorter. It needed to be quicker for quicker takeaways. Now, while we might not agree 100% with those two opinions, they're very valid criticisms, and we had to address them. So we've kind of changed things this month, where we're breaking down Morning Brew as like the sort of peak perfect new media company. And their referral sequence is just gold standard, man. It's fucking incredible. But we had to break it down and do these different things. So that's how we sort of refined that positioning to, we're not just saying this is what Noom did or this is what this brand did to grow big. This is, we're breaking it down to the why. So this is why they did it. This is the underlying psychology and strategy that they use. This is how you can apply it to a company at any stage, because we're looking more at the strategic side and the psychological persuasive triggers that people are pulling. The second bit of it being too long means that we built something new into the deliverable as it is. And so I'll share my screen. Here we go. So this is like the very rough draft of, where Dan and I just jump in and write down our thoughts and then organize it all. And we come out at the end of it all with this 79-page document, which is 10,000 words, yeah. At the start of every chapter, we've basically segmented this all a little nicer than the Noom version. The Noom version's free as well for anybody. I'll drop links below if you want to go check that out. Where we've given people 10-second version, a 30-second version, and downloads. Of course, with each one you get all of these different downloads, appendix A, B, C, and each one has multiple things in, worksheets, templates that you can use to then improve your brand's marketing and, you know, help you grow your startup. But yeah, we kind of wanted to give people that quick takeaway, so people who might not want to sit down and read 10,000 words of deep analysis on the strategy and the growth of these companies can come in, look at these key takeaways and go, do you know what, this is something that I want to read, and then they can read the sort of really deep analysis into things. Or they can look at it and say, that's not for me, and they can go to, you know, the table of contents and just click through to the section that they want to click through to. So that's like the two main things that we've sort of taken from this. The other thing is we are running experiments at the minute with the pricing. So we have 4 pricing tiers, and we wanted to do launch pricing of the lower tier just to get people in and to get that initial feedback, which has been invaluable. It's been incredible. And then we've got, so that was at $29 a month, and then we've got one at $49 a month, one at $75, and then one at $97. Now, of course, we want to get people on that $97 a month package, and we know that that's possible because you have people like Ben Settle and plenty of other people who have done monthly sort of big package newsletters that are being sent out that are charging that and more. So we wanted to push people towards that, basically. We are now pretty much out of the $29 a month one, and so this is when the sort of testing really comes in. How many people, what's the conversion rate going to be, basically, for people who look at it? And it's now $49. Is it going to be higher? Is it going to be lower? Is overall, is that going to be more profitable for us as a business or not? But of course, we needed to justify that as a, you know, $97 purchase. Regardless of what pricing tier somebody's on, we want to deliver more than $97 worth of value back to people. And so we were thinking, and we were talking to a couple of people about how we can do that. And of course, the problem that we're going to have is that people are saying, oh, that's great that this company did this and they're at 9 figures. They've got all of these resources, all of this capital, all of this, you know, everything that they've got, reputation, network, whatever. They can easily roll these things out and grow these, you know, see this insane growth. Very valid point. They might have venture funding, whatever. You know, me, I'm just this small startup. I'm a solopreneur who's built this tool, and I don't know, I can't do that. So what we've done is into the deliverables. Now, the deliverables at launch were the big breakdown, and pretty much that's it. So with the big breakdown, you get the huge deep dive analysis. You'd get a couple of different templates, worksheets, and everything so that you could implement them on your own. But that was it. And we decided, you know, we really need to show people that this is actually applicable knowledge. This isn't just distant analysis. You can use this information to make money. So what we've done is at the start of every month, we are going through all of our own numbers about how we're growing this. So everything from traffic to subscribers, free subscribers to paid subscribers, revenue numbers, all of this to give people more of a transparent look at what we're doing. But in the middle of the month, we're also taking one sort of growth tactic that we've analysed in one of the brands that we're looking at, and we'll have broken that down into a single, very easy to replicate, very cheap to replicate version to see what the results are like for us. And we'll be going through on a video, much like this one, how we did that, what the results were, how you can do it too. So, you know, we've got 2 at the minute that we're sort of running because we're kind of a month behind with these because these came a little later. I've got 2 experiments that we're running that should be videos within March, basically showing how things like Noom's 67 step questionnaire sales sequence, how you could replicate that for around $30 a month, and what the results are going to be like for actual lead generation. So we've built this, almost finished building out. We're doing that, but basically that's what we've done to add that extra level of value and to show people that breaking down these companies isn't just this exercise in research and analysis. There is a lesson to be learned, and there are actionable steps that you can take based on what these other companies are doing. And rather than just say that, we're trying to prove it by doing it ourselves. You know, eat your own dog food, show people that it actually works. It is a little different to build in public something that is like an information product rather than a software product, but it's interesting. This is one of the most interesting things that I've done in the last couple of years. And But yes, that is where we're at. So basically, to sum up this whole thing is, we've launched this thing, we've got great feedback from some people, we had some critical feedback from others. That critical feedback has led us to refine what we're doing, both in terms of the deliverables that we'd already settled on and we're like, yes, but it's also led us to build in one or two other deliverables to show people that this is actionable knowledge for smaller companies who are trying to grow, not from a place of huge amounts of venture funding or whatever. And videos on how to replicate that themselves. We're using ourselves as the crash test dummies, in a way, for this. But yes, that's it. So just trying to be a little more transparent with the building public. Of course, if you do want to see the results of all of these experiments and things, then that goes out to the subscribers of the Business Breakdown newsletter, which there'll be links below if you want to join on that sort of stuff. And that also, if you join now, and we are today the 22nd of February, this Morning Brew Breakdown will be going out on the 28th. And that is when it goes out via email to everybody. So if you're not on the email list at that point, you won't get it. We may do something in the future of back issues and things, but at the minute we're just trying to get this out and trying to get ahead of next month's edition, because I don't like finishing so close to the finish line. I'd like to have a little bit of breathing space to work out better promotional strategies. But anyway, that's it. Let me know if there's any questions, anything in the comments. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one of these Building Public with a beneficial update for everybody. Hopefully anyway. See you then.